My name is Ethan Wynn. I am in Global Perspectives, Period 4 at Seabreeze High School. And today I'm going to be talking to you about the Cambridge ACE 2018-2019 out-of-state field trip. And the country I would like to recommend for the trip is Panama. And the reason I would like to recommend Panama is because the culture in Panama is very diverse, it's very strong, and it's got a good foundation. It would be the foundation for a great field trip, and the students could learn a lot, experience a lot, and overall just have a good time with a great field trip that would also allow them to learn. So in order to understand why you should visit any country for the culture, you first have to understand what culture is. So the culture of an area can consist of many things. It's really anything that defines a region, anything that defines whether it be a city, a town, a village, a state, a country, or even something like a whole continent, or even the whole world. The whole world has its own culture. And culture can consist of food, the food that an area eats on a daily basis. That can shape the lives of the people that live in that area. And foods around the world are very different because each area of the world, whether that be a country or a continent, has its own culture, and that has shaped their food differently, and the food has shaped the culture. Another factor could also be something like music. The music of an area, the people of that area listen to it, and they write songs and music based on their surroundings, what happens with them, their everyday lives, and so that can contribute to culture. And it's not just music, it's all arts, really. Arts like, painting, pictures, things like any media, stuff like, movies, television shows, anything like books, or even something like a magazine can really shape the culture of an area. And these are just a few examples here. Pretty much, if it is a part of the lives of the people that live in the area, it's pretty much considered culture. So one example of this would be the landscape. Say you live in an environment that has a lot of mountains. It's a very mountainous range. The architecture, the place that you live in, is probably geared towards the fact that you live in a mountainous area. For example, the buildings, the structure, the architecture, that's probably geared towards the fact that you live at a higher elevation. Things like your daily routine, maybe you have to walk up hills, and so you have paths that are built to accommodate that. That could be considered the culture of an area because it's how the people every day live their lives. So the reason you should visit any country at all, not just Panama, but any country for the culture, is the culture of an area is pretty much like, it is the reason you go. It is the experience that you get. All of these things that you go to visit, usually pretty much every tourist attraction, is based on some facet of their culture. Some sort of, big thing. Like, let's say there's this beautiful park you want to go to in some foreign country. Well, that'd be, that could be considered a part of the landscape. That could shape the lives of the people around it. And the experience you get from being in these countries, in this foreign land, and not even other countries. It doesn't even have to be another country. It could be somewhere inside of the country that you live in. But as long as you're experiencing another culture, you'll have those experiences, you'll have those memories, and you'll have that foundation to build upon, which will allow you to see things from other points of view. You'll be able to make connections in the real world based on your culture that you've experienced, the culture you've gained. You'll be able to, see eye to eye. You'll be able to see eye to eye with not only the people that you've been with, but you'll be able to see certain issues, any issue really, from other perspectives. You'll be able to see it from the eyes of the culture that you have experienced and be able to make better connections to that to help educate the world and educate yourself. And culture can play a big role in the classroom as well, allowing you to boost the education factor of your environment, of the classroom, and allow your school to really thrive. For example, it can help, as I said before, improve worldviews. Like I said before, the connections that can be made because you have those other viewpoints from outstanding cultures can help you really be more open-minded. It can allow students to absorb new ideas. It can allow them to see the world as they had never seen it before, and this will allow them to make new connections and really grow as a student. And it will also not only help them experience new knowledge in ways that they never could before, but it will also help them make connections with pre-existing knowledge. For example, say you're in a Spanish class, and then you go visit a place that speaks Spanish. Well, you can make connections based on the culture of the area, the things that are Spanish, all of the, lifestyle, the food, the culture of an area, the thing I've been talking about. You can take that and you can relate that back to the class that you had before. You can say, wow, I understand what all of the knowledge I had gained before was trying to say to me. I understand the meaning of it. I can really understand what it's trying to say, the knowledge. I can help, visualize it. I can help experience it better. And so the trip to Panama, it'll be an 8-day trip. There are 13 places to visit in Panama, and these are a few of them here on the trip. You can go to the Panama Viejo Ruins and Museum. Now, Panama Viejo, that was the old capital of Panama before it was eventually moved. And since the capital moved, they have a new capital now. Since the capital moved, it has become a tourist attraction, and there's a museum where you can see some of the history of Panama and the areas around it, really just the history of Central Mexico in general as well. The tour of Casco Viejo, the Biomaso, which is a very interesting place to visit, as it has pretty much like all of the indigenous plants and, animals in the area. Amador Causeway, Puerto Cleba, Chiatre, Panama City, which is the new capital of the city. This is the one that was moved to, and many more. So the cost will be $2,410 United States dollars per student, and that includes all of the trips. So you'll get access to all of the destinations. You'll get your hotel. You will get your accommodations, such as you will be provided breakfast and dinner. You'll get transportation between said locations on this list. You will get full access to everywhere, and you'll have the flights covered as well. Flights from the United States to Panama and back. The only thing that is not covered is, on a few of the days, lunch will have to be bought with the students' own money. So they would have to bring a little bit of spare pocket change to provide themselves lunch on certain days. However, on the other days, lunch is also provided for at any of these destinations, depending on where they are at the time. So, as I said before, the cost will be $2,410 for the whole 8-day trip, and that's for a single student. And this is my citation list. So these are all of my sources. They're in MLA format, and you can pause the video now to read over them, have a look at all of them, and that's about it. Thank you for your consideration, and